Let us all pay respects to Ten Ajahn together.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Ajahn, I can hear you.
So how is everybody? Huh? You still alive?
Yeah.
How is Singapore?
Singapore? No, I mean, pretty much the same for these few months. Yeah. The COVID, the cases has gone down by a lot. So, very much back to normal, I would say. Just that it's very expensive to travel now because everyone is trying to fly out of Singapore.
Yeah.
So the air tickets are very expensive.
Everybody is trying to escape the prison of Singapore. Oh. Just a few days ago, a matey came here, yeah, and offered some medicine. Medicine, for the people who injected themselves with this vaccine, because too many people are dying. Too many people, get sick, yeah, after they shot so many vaccines. Yeah.
Is it some Thai herbs or something? No?
In Europe, it's really bad. Yeah. So many people without even getting COVID have died within 2 weeks after the vaccine. Yeah? And there's a high, high morbidity rate that is unusual, yeah, for the last 5 years, this year. So lots of people die because of this stupid vaccine. So I hope everyone, is okay. Yeah. So how many people are taking part? I see some new faces. So.
Yeah, 17 people, I think, from all over the world.
All this time, all over the world.
I mean, many different countries.
Many different countries, yeah. But I don't see Aseng and Linda. Oh, they are here.
How could you miss them?
They are here, sitting here. Okay, so start with your questions, yeah?
Yeah, so anyone with questions can raise your hand, or you can just unmute yourself and ask. Who would like to start first?
It's always the first question is always the most difficult, huh? Or did you just come to look at me, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna start. Ajahn, my question is, there are many teachers and also monastics who you listen to the talks and they criticize other traditions, other techniques.
Mm-hmm.
Or the Goenka technique is the Mahasi technique, there's Mahabua technique. Sometimes it becomes really conflicting. So sometimes I just don't understand how some techniques can be wrong and other techniques can be correct. So how to contemplate this, how to deal with these conflicting thoughts?
We can take the advice of the Lord Buddha, yeah, in the, what is it, Kalama Sutta, yeah, and said, I mean, practice the way the teacher gives you. If it leads to good results, then go on. If it doesn't lead to good results, then I mean, switch the teacher. I don't like to. I mean, I don't find it very useful. If other teachers criticize other teachers. I mean that for me it's not okay. I mean, it just means I'm deficient in my teaching. When I need to put other people down, criticize that. But of course, there are certain techniques, and there are different techniques taught by different teachers, and they can lead to the same results or they can lead to different results. So I mean, it depends on what you want. I mean, it's the same, when you go to the shop, I mean, if you want this soap, that helps with this, and the other soap helps with that, I mean, you have to try it out and see what is comfortable for you. You understand that? I mean, I mean, the Lord Buddha is our guide, So in the end, we go back to what the Lord Buddha was teaching, and he was teaching Anapanasati, Anapanasati, meaning, being aware of the breath going in and being aware of the breath going out, and knowing, how the breath is, at every moment. So that is Anapanasati, There's the Satipatthana Sutta, I mean, all these things are correct, I mean, we can rely on them. So if a teacher teaches this, it's correct, Lumpuman was teaching Buddha, and it is for some people, who think a lot, I mean, it is perfect, But anything else, I don't know, You understand?
Right.
I mean, just look for yourself. There are some things, that might help, specific people, and it might be good for them, But overall, I mean, I can only tell what I find useful, I mean, my first teacher was Mahasi Sayadaw. Mahasi Sayadaw is actually not. I mean, he was really a student of the Mahasi Sayadaw, not one of his disciples. So he taught the Mahasi Sayadaw style, and that was perfectly fine. It was Anapanasati, The only thing that differed from what Lungta Mahabor was teaching was the way of walking meditation, because they did it extremely slow, and I found it very difficult. And when I came to Lungta Mahabor, and then I saw how they did the walking meditation, that they did it rather fast. I found it much more helpful. Okay.
Sadhu.
I think not much questions then.
No, not many questions today. So, hi. So now you've seen my face there. Well, then start reading some of the questions who came in, And and if somebody has a question, he just let you know by raising his hand,
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So this first question is quite a long question. I have a feeling that people hate me. The hate is in a form of disgust, but it's not that I do anything disgusting. I just don't know how to act in social situations. Is it possible to accept this state? I kind of hate people for that myself and get tense whenever I encounter new social situations. I've kind of accepted that I have no worth, no likable traits. I can't look at people, because if they look back at me, that's what I see, hate, and disgust. Please help. I'm afraid. Yeah.
This is,
Always the same person.
I mean, it is a result of our karma, but it is also, it's that this person is not clear within himself, yeah, what he is and what he does, yeah. I mean, if you're happy with yourself, yeah, if you look for, yeah, for people, I mean, it especially happens to people from the West, or especially Germany as well, yeah, that people don't have any self-esteem. If people don't have any self-esteem, yeah, they look at other people, yeah, and judge, their reaction that might not, or most of the time has nothing to do with them, yeah, judge them to be towards himself, yeah. I mean, he has to pick up more self-esteem. No? I mean, we are all come to this world, yeah. We have some good within us and we have some evil within us, yeah? And we have to realize that. We have to accept it, yeah? And then we have to look, yeah. We have to try to remove the evil that is in our heart and replace it with some of the good, yeah. And the more we develop our self-esteem, yeah, we know, yeah. That doesn't mean, conceit. I don't mean, to develop our conceit, to develop our self-esteem, to know how we are, who we are, yeah. I mean, this is really important, yeah, especially on the path of meditation. If you want to get rid of self, yeah, I mean, you have to know self, yeah. You have to understand who you are, what your problems are, what your good sides are, and what your bad sides are. Otherwise, you cannot get rid of it. Yeah? It's the same thing when I say, I mean, if you want to overcome hell, you have to swim through the fires of hell. You have to know what you want to avoid or what you want to overcome. Yeah? So, I mean, you have to have some sort of self-esteem. Yeah? If you think, people look down on you, maybe it's not the cause, maybe it's not the case, yeah? There's a good joke, in German, yeah? I mean, they're living in an apartment building, and one person, wants to borrow a hammer from his neighbor, yeah? And so the first time he goes there and he isn't there, so he thinks, why isn't he here? He doesn't like me. The next time he sees him on the staircase, and then he looks strange at him, and I mean, and he makes up all these stories. In the end, he goes to the neighbor, yeah, and then the neighbor is there, and said, "You can keep your hammer." He was so fed up because he all made it up, by things that had nothing to do with himself, yeah? And this is something that we have to understand, yeah? I mean, people, sometimes look at us without even noticing us, yeah? And nowadays it is even more, yeah? People look at us, don't even notice us because they are in thoughts, yeah? They're in thoughts far, far away, yeah? Or they are within their smartphone, yeah? Nowadays, yeah? So, I mean, look at yourself, yeah, and meditation helps you to look at yourself, accept, that there's evil in our heart, accept that there's good in our heart, and then try to remove the evil, yeah, or the bad things that are in our heart, and replace them with good things, yeah. It's quite easy. It's easy said, yeah. I mean, it is painful to do. Okay, so.
Okay, next question. You mentioned possession in your last English talk. Is there a way to deal with it without having to take antipsychotic and antidepressant medication? I have a monk I communicate with, and he thinks I can treat my issues with meditation. Every time I go off medication, I relapse. Long ago, I saw a monk who mentioned it had to do with goes.
Find a monk who is knowledgeable, yeah, who is really knowledgeable about this, yeah, and then consult him. And then he might be able to, because last time I think I mentioned, I saw, yeah, and that there are only a few monks, or a few people, I mean, it can be also lay people who are able to, to extract the spirit from this person, yeah. So find somebody, look around, yeah. But be careful. There are a lot of, people who pretend to be, and they don't do, but normally they don't do any harm on you, yeah. Yes, it is possible, to answer shortly, it is possible, without medication, without antidepressant, yeah. But maybe it is not a ghost. Maybe it is, maybe it's our psychic that, just like adding to the last question, not knowing oneself, or feeling oneself, being worthless, we are not worthless, yeah? We wouldn't be born as a human being if we are worthless, yeah? Or if we are completely evil. There is no complete evil person, in this world, yeah? He wouldn't be a human being, yeah? The completely evil people, are at the moment really in hell, and they are also not completely evil because they have their good side. So when they come out of the hell, they can come back as a human being or ghost or whatever, or even sometimes, go straight to the Deva realm, to the heavenly realm. So, as I said, every being, no matter in what realm it is, has good, and has evil. Some, for some, there's more evil, and for some there's more good, yeah. Look at yourself, find it out, yeah, and also, it is necessary, to get some self-esteem, yeah. Just like, I'm the biggest happiness to myself, who doesn't love me, it is his problem, not my problem. Yeah, that's the easiest way, yeah. If people don't love me, I cannot make them love me, yeah. I cannot make them not hate me, yeah. But I can be the biggest happiness to myself, yeah. So whatever. And if you are like this, you attract automatically other people, yeah. And they all automatically like you, yeah? So you have to find, to be the biggest happiness to yourself, yeah.
Yeah, Joanne, you can unmute yourself.
Okay. Good morning from New Mexico.
Oh, New Mexico.
It's 3:00 here now since the time changed. So I have a question about my practice. I've been doing a suba, mostly, with my imagination, looking at pictures. But I did try a couple of times looking at some videos on YouTube. So I watched an autopsy. It was pretty disturbing. So I didn't watch for long, but and this was a few months ago. And then I just kept the images in my mind, and that worked okay. Then a couple of weeks ago, I decided to watch an autopsy again. And I had this intense reaction, almost a panic attack. And then a feeling of desperation and terror. And the desperation was like, there's no way out, I'm trapped. And I didn't go into a full-blown panic attack. I calmed down. And then in the evening, I was I was on a Zoom call with some Kalyanamitas, and I didn't talk. I was feeling very critical of them and irritated. Anyway, I went to sleep that night. And the next day I was okay. And so I've been staying away from those intense visions. But I had this thought about, since I do a lot of work, a lot of meditation, but I'm alone, and so I don't have a teacher nearby. Instances like that come up. So I've been really careful with this suba now, and just being very light and mostly doing just pictures in my mind, working on the elements, the body being impermanent. Anyway, that was my feeling, this was a a scary experience.
It can be scary, yeah. And you have to be careful, when you do this, yeah. I mean, don't be around people, yeah, because you automatically they hate, yeah. What you could use with this are super pictures, yeah, or a super, I mean, when you watch an autopsy, or when we watch a cremation, and suddenly the hand pops up, or the leg pops up, yeah. I mean, that can be quite scary. When you do this, yeah, I mean, you destroy the illusion of the kilesas that they have about the body, yeah. And if you destroy somebody's illusion, you know it from your friends, I mean, they get angry. And that's a reaction, yeah. It's not your personal reaction, it's the reaction of the kilesas because you destroy their toy, yeah. So be careful around people when you do it, yeah. If you are alone, or your friend, is working on the same topic, then it's fine, yeah. Then you both understand, yeah. So I always say, when you do a super practice, be careful, yeah. Don't latch out on other people, because that doesn't help, yeah. What we want to do is, to feel this anger, yeah, and analyze the anger, just like we analyze, pain, yeah. What is, how does it feel like? Is it pleasant? Is it unpleasant? I mean, really analyze it, where does it come from? Yeah? I mean, we noticed in all our life, yeah? If something, doesn't work out, yeah? If somebody comes, says something bad to us, or topples our views, yeah? I mean, we get angry, don't we? Yeah. So that is quite normal. Yeah? So with this practice, we bring up this anger because we want to cross over anger and greed. Yeah? Because anger and greed comes in a package. Yeah? It is just like your coin. Yeah? I mean, on one side, you have the head. On the other side, you have the tail. Yeah? I mean, they cannot exist without the other. Yeah? So when we learn how to deal with anger, yeah, then and see the root of it, and it is mostly in our views and our opinions. Yeah? We think that this body is wonderful, yeah. I mean, even if it gets older, we still think it's wonderful and we want one. Yeah? It's just like with our car, we think it's a wonderful tool. So, I mean, when the car breaks down, we get another car. Instead of looking under the hood and see all this oil and mess and things like that, yeah? And that's what we do with our super practice. When we see an anatomy class, or opening a corpse, yeah? I mean, what the doctors learn it, when they go to university? I mean, they throw up, or they fall unconscious because they don't, yeah? I mean, they are confronted with something, yeah, that they don't like to see, yeah? And that is their physical reaction, yeah? Yeah? Unconscious, they don't even want to know about this inside of the body, yeah. And we carry this body around all our life, yeah. And when this body dies, I mean, we long for the next body, yeah. And that is one of the reasons why we do this as super practice, to get off, what does this body give us, yeah? What does the body give us, yeah? What kind of pleasure? We constantly have to look after it. I mean, from the moment of birth, yeah. I mean, for 20 years, our parents look after the body, and raise it, and then we have to look after this body, yeah. I mean, we have to feed it, we have to house it, we have to clothe it, yeah, and we have to take medicine, we have to go to the doctor, and the older we grow, I mean, the more we have to go to the doctor. Just like with a car, the older it gets, the more we have to go to the garage and fix it. Yeah? That is the nature of the body. And the more we understand the nature of the body, the more we get disillusioned about the body. And in the end, we can overcome it and don't want a body anymore. Yeah? And that's the whole idea. Yeah? But in the beginning, yeah, I mean, learn how to investigate pain. I mean, I often teach, how to investigate pain. And then, I mean, use the same techniques and learn how to investigate anger. Yeah? Or you can also learn, for some people it is important. I mean, once we learn the technique of investigation, yeah, and of feelings, yeah, then we can go and investigate any kind of strong feelings, yeah? Anger, fear, yeah. I mean, panic is fear, yeah. I mean, if you instead, of going into the panic mode, you just say there is fear, and then you can look at it. Just like when we say there is pain, then we can look at it and then we can analyze it, observe it, and see where it's coming from. But if you say panic, 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 then there's nothing. You're lost. Yeah, everything is gone. I mean, you don't get any value from that. But if you say, okay, there's fear, or there's anger, or there's greed, then I can look at it. What does this greed, what does this feeling do to me? Yeah, and where is it actually rooted into? Yeah. We roll back, what came before? What came before the panic? What came before that? Yeah, or there was some fear. What came before that? I mean, you saw a picture. What was the thought when you saw the picture that created this panic? Yeah, that is interesting to look at it, because there's something was disturbing. I mean, that sent you into this fear or into this panic mode or into this anger mode or whatever. Yeah, I mean, we have to look. Yeah. What is the cause, for this feeling to arise, yeah? And that can be any kind of feeling. It can be fear, it can be loneliness, it can be whatever, whatever, yeah? It can be depression, I mean, but depression is not a feeling, yeah? Depression is, is an emotion, yeah? Panic is also an emotion, yeah? Fear, is a feeling, it's not an emotion, yeah? But it can lead to panic, or it can lead to depression, or it can lead to many things, yeah? So, I mean, the whole world, I mean, we don't need any doctors, we don't need only psychologists, we don't need anything, we just need to look. And then, the moment we look and observe, we can understand. Huh? And nobody can take this understanding away from us, yeah? Even if the whole world says, your understanding is wrong, but we know it is right, I mean, we know it is right. Yeah? Because we have seen it with our own eyes, yeah? Not with the outer eyes, yeah? Not with our thoughts, or not with our mind, but we have experienced it, yeah? And what we experience, this is our experience, yeah? Okay?
Thank you.
Maybe you have to unmute yourself. Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah?
Hi. I got two questions, if you don't mind. So first question, so I like the lessons and like karma and things like that. But I just want to ask, like, say for my young children, like, how can I get them started? Like, for example, I went for a session before. I mean, not with your side, but another temple. So we went there, we started chanting, and it was very dry. And I feel like my children won't like it because, like, you're just chanting things that you don't understand. And like, how should one get started, like from day one? And is it like you have to learn Thai language and things like that? So, like, how would you advise someone with young children, like how they want to start this? And second question I have is, I feel that Buddhism, like, they have been under like pressure. Like, for example, in Cambodia, in the past, like during the Pol Pot regime, they view monks as lazy, not contributing to the economy, and they forced them to do hard labor. And then we look at Tibet, the Communist Party army just moved in and just took over the country. The Lama had to leave. So my question is, do you think that if everybody embraces Buddhism and becomes a monk, like humankind can't really progress? Like, for example, like you're not going to have children, and secondly, you're not going to put up arms, and you're not going to have a business. You don't have money flowing in, so you're very reliant on others, and very pushed around by others. You get what I mean? Like, some other countries can just invade you, and then you don't have any means of protecting yourself because you're just embracing monkhood and Buddhism, and I've also heard experience of foreigners, like Westerners who become monks in Thailand, and then the Thai are very friendly. They give them food, etc. But when they go back to Europe, they were standing in the streets. The Westerners like don't think highly of them. They say you should go and get a job. So they receive a very different perception outside of Thailand, outside of Asia. So just want to get your views on this. Like, do you think whether it makes sense that Buddhism is this way? Sorry if I'm a bit long-winded.
What country are you from?
I'm from Singapore.
I'm from Singapore. In Singapore, they don't have too many monks there. But now, with the second question, okay, I answer the second question, and then you have to phrase the first question again, because I completely forgot it. It is also the karma. Yeah? It's a karma of every being. Yeah? If you are a monk in Cambodia, you will be, you are born in Cambodia because of your karma. You're born in Myanmar because of your karma. You're born in Singapore because of your karma. Yeah? And you become a monk, also because of your karma. Yeah? Because of your karma. Yeah? And you go to a temple because of your karma. Yeah? And you find the teacher because of your karma. Yeah? So all is related to our karma. Yeah? So if I go, for instance, at the time of Luang Pu Man, a lot of monks, went up to Myanmar, because at that time, there was a very good, very good monks, and very and very good place to practice. Yeah, or even they went to north of Cambodia, yeah, or Cambodia, yeah, and practiced there. Yeah, so it is the karma of these people. It is the karma of the monks. Yeah, it is the karma of beings. Yeah? The other thing that you tripped. Yeah, yes. As a Buddhist monk. Yeah, if somebody comes and kills me. Yeah, of course I try to run away for one time, or try to run away for the second time, or try to run away for the third time. And then if I see, this running away doesn't help it, then I get killed. I don't defend myself. But that is my personal view. I don't expect lay people to be like this. Yeah, this is only. Yeah. It happened to me. It happened to me. Somebody didn't like the way the way that I walked on Pindapat. So he grabbed my throat, and pressed, until I got no air. Yeah. But other people helped him, so I got loose. Yeah. Another time, somebody said, "Oh, I hate you so much, I'll kill you." And I said, "Yes, if it helps you to get rid of your anger, then go ahead and kill me." Yeah. I have no stake in this. Huh? Because if you understand, the whole circle, the cycle of life, birth and death, and birth and death, and birth and death, yeah? What's the point? Yeah? You will come back, if you haven't finished your job, yeah? And got out of the cycle got out of the hamster wheel, what I normally call it, because I like it, it's such a nice... Such a nice simile, yeah, because you can see it, running, but not going everywhere. Yeah? So you're stuck, yeah, and then sooner or later you can find a way out. You can open the door and go out, yeah. But of course, this is, this is not, yeah, this is not for every monk, monks are people, yeah. When a person, ordains as a monk, yeah. The only thing that he took on, is hopefully the 227 rules. But nothing has changed with him through the ordination. Eh? So, his karma comes at him, yeah, and if he doesn't develop himself, all sorts of things can happen. Yeah? So they are pushed around, yeah, or they are not pushed around. It all depends on the karma. You understand that?
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, look at Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is I mean, at the moment it is pretty good, yeah? in Myanmar, you know, I mean, some of the monks are crazy, you know, they go and, you know, and take on weapons and kill people. I mean, that is completely out of the question. It has nothing to do with the Buddha's teaching, yeah? But Sri Lanka seems to be okay, and Thailand seems to be okay as a Buddhist country, yeah? So what was your first question, about the kids or what?
Yeah, like how to get like young children interested.
You cannot force them.
Yeah, because the chanting can be a bit dry, right? I mean, like
you have to look. You really have to look. Yeah. First of all, the children should be at least 5 years old. Yeah. I mean, 1 or 2 years, you know, they will not. Yeah, unless they come. Secondly, you have to be the example. Yeah, you and your wife. Yeah, you have to be example. Children, you know, at this age learn through example. Yeah? I mean, I know quite a few parents, you know, who have young children. When they sit and meditate, you know, the children, you know, come up, you know, try to disturb them, you know, and when they see they cannot be disturbed, nah? I mean, then they sit next to the parents, you know, and start, you know, doing that. And then you can tell them how to do it correctly. Yeah. Or if they see you chanting, you know, I mean, they sit next to you and do the same thing, yeah? That's how children learn. But you cannot force them, yeah? You cannot tell them you should do this or should do that, yeah? You can invite them, okay, come to the monastery, you know, I mean, in the morning or in the evening, you know. And if they don't want to chant, you know, I mean, don't force them, yeah? Because with forcing them, you make it worse, you know, I mean, you create a sort of aversion in these children towards Buddhism, and you should not do that. Yeah, so they should always do it on their own, on their own free will. Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
There's a question from the chat. Dear Ajahn, I recently applied for a job internally within my company. So it's an internal job in another department. I really want the job and hope to get it. How do I make an aspiration to increase my chances to get the job?
You must be from Singapore. The answer is very simple. Yeah, I mean, he can pray to his karma that he has a good karma to get this job. No? Leave it all up to his karma, because I mean, it is the karma that decides. Yeah, and of course, you know, also his performance, you know, within the company. Yeah, if he performed very well, you know, I mean, that is the present karma. Yeah, and you know. And together with the old karma, you know, I mean, he will get the job or not, yeah. I mean, I see a lot of, you know, I mean, not even in not only in Singapore, but also in Thailand. I mean, they pray to the Hindu gods, you know, to get, you know, to pass the exam. It doesn't help, yeah.
And then she's from Malaysia. Yeah,
yeah, I mean, it's yeah, it's the same. Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore. Okay, so next question.
Yeah. Anyone else? You can unmute yourself.
Yeah, Linda. No question. Any question here? You know, I mean, if you have any questions, you know, you feel free to ask.
Yeah. John has another question.
I have one short question. Is there a benefit for us to go to India and visit the sacred sites of the Buddha?
It can be very helpful. Yeah? I mean, even a lot of monks here in Thailand go to these holy places. They tell me, you know, there's a certain kind, you know, there's a certain kind of energy that is very wholesome. Yeah. So this is, yeah. Myself, yeah, or even Lungta Mahaprabhu said, I've never been interested in it, yeah. And it doesn't attract me, yeah. I mean, don't follow, what other people do. Follow your heart, yeah. If your heart feels, I want to go to these places, then go, yeah. Yeah. And then, sense the energy, because there is still some energy, yeah. And not only the energy of the Buddha, but all the people, who come and worship the Buddha, yeah. So I mean, this is normally considered very good energy and can be elevating to, to our heart, yeah. Okay.
I think about coming, trying to, I guess, tell myself to come to Thailand, to come to the monastery, but I do feel resistance to it. Like I'm trying to convince myself it'd be good for me to come to the monastery, but coming to Thailand is a big trip. And
You're from New Mexico.
Yeah. In the US.
I mean, we have a Joanne from Canada.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yes, the resistance is within the kilesas, yeah. I mean, ask yourself the question, when you go into meditation, when you go and when you really come, ask your heart what it wants, yeah? Not ask your mind what it wants. Yeah? If the heart wants to go to Thailand, then just go, yeah? Now overcome the resistance. I mean, I had also this resistance, yeah? I didn't know anything about Thailand, I didn't know the language, I didn't know the culture, but I knew I had to come. So, I mean, I came, yeah? And I don't want to leave. Yeah?
I'm afraid if I come, I won't want to leave.
Yeah, then just stay on.
I've traveled a lot, but now I feel like because of my age, I feel a little more vulnerable.
It doesn't matter.
Good.
Doesn't matter. Huh? I mean, we have older people who come here and travel here, I mean, they are over 70. I mean, I even had one, over 70, who traveled here to Thailand, she was never outside of Germany and then came to Thailand. I mean, and she liked it very much, yeah. So, but come in the time, when in the cold season, so it is right now. I mean, if you come in the hot season or in the rainy season, it is really a strain on the body. Yeah. So from November, from end of October, to February, I mean, or even March, it depends on the weather. It is really good. It's even for old people, it's okay. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Else?
Greetings, Bante. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, greetings, Bante. From USA.
California.
So, Bante, what's that?
California.
No, I am in Washington, near Seattle.
Oh, Washington. Yeah, I mean, it's also on the East Coast, yeah.
Yeah, very cold right now, and it was 2 a.m. when I started this.
Okay.
Okay, so Bante, well, I want to, you probably, I don't know if you remember or not, but I've been struggling and focusing a lot on working on lust and, sexual attraction and all of that.
Yeah.
And I've been using the Asuba methods, and I've been watching, like the other lady, I've been watching YouTube autopsies and stuff like that. I actually, at this, the Mahabua.
I can't see it, yeah. But
Mahabua. This is about Mahabua's book.
Yeah.
Even though I don't know much Thai, but I still watch the images.
Yeah.
That doesn't really do it for me. For some reason, I guess I am more, I don't know, more of like a rational-minded, type of person. I don't know. For me, it works more like, okay, I see this attractive lady, so okay, let's say that, she would agree to have any contact with me.
Yeah.
What's the point? So
Yeah.
this is
That's also.
This won't last. It will come a time when it wouldn't work, or the emotions and the good feelings of the moment will just fade away, and that will lead to other commitments that you don't need, and that stuff doesn't really satisfy your spiritual, energy, or your really that doesn't really give you anything deep, and that doesn't help you to find liberation, basically. That will just tie you more into samsara. So that seems to work better for me. Is that a good path that I'm following?
This path is completely okay, yeah? But in the end, you will have to use asubha if the sexual desire becomes stronger. And the sexual desire, yeah, is based on this imaging. So I mean, if you see attractive woman, and you turn it into a skeleton, or you turn it into one of these opened up bodies, then the sexual desire for this moment is gone. It will come back instantly when you close the body, and see the beauty or the attractiveness of this body. Yeah? But your logical way, to get to this, not to get involved, with a relationship or that. I mean, how many relationships did we go through? How often were we disappointed? How often did I leave the woman? How often did the woman leave me? Because I was dissatisfied, and the dissatisfaction has nothing to do with the woman or the partner. It has only to do with us, yeah, because we are within our heart, we are dissatisfied, yeah. We are always looking for the other, yeah, for the other part of us in somebody else's, instead of looking for the other part within us, yeah. So sooner or later you will have to do, yeah. And when you do these asubha pictures, when you look at these pictures, yeah, then you have to tell yourself, yeah, this is how my body looks. This is how other bodies look. Yeah, get it. Get it. It will take some time. Yeah, it will take some time until the real shock comes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then just think about. I mean, grabbing hold. Grabbing hold of a woman or of a partner. Who has no skin on, trying to kiss her. I mean, this completely sets you off, doesn't it?
I don't know, but that doesn't.
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
You have to be more. It has to be more intrinsic. You have to get it deeper into the heart. Yeah. These images. Yeah? But anyway, as long as the other thing is working, okay, go ahead with it. Yeah. As you're rationalizing working, but sooner or later it won't work. I know it from my own experience. Yeah. Sooner or later it won't work. I mean, you get fooled, constantly fooled by it. Yeah. But anyway, in the beginning it is working. As long as it works, use it. Yeah. But then, I mean, when it doesn't work anymore, I still want it. Yeah. Then go back to the asubha. Yeah. This will work. But it will take its time. Yeah? It's just like meditation. We sit down the first time, of course you don't get calm. Or? When you remember the first time you sat down, I mean, your mind was all over the place. Huh? It takes some time, to learn things. Yeah? And this asubha is taking some time to learn things. Yeah? And it really works. Yeah? I mean, if you look at these pictures, or look at these, anatomy classes, I mean, on YouTube, or when somebody, tears up a body, yeah, or sometimes, when you see, sometimes on Al Gore, they are horrific, yeah, when they really behead some people, or kill some people, slice them up, yeah. If your mind is completely calm, these pictures get to you utterly and deep. Yeah. If your mind is not calm, they won't get to you. Yeah. Understand that?
Yes, but I understand. Anyway, for some reason, I'm not very shocked by that at all. I mean, maybe a little bit.
It takes
But,
time. Be patient. It takes
But
time.
I will definitely keep it as like a tool in my tool.
Toolbox.
Yes, but thank you. Anyway, I've been successful in being celibate for 5 years now. But I still, I'm just focusing. I just want to get the root out of it. I just don't want to be bothered by it. It's very annoying.
Yes, and that is where really, when it gets annoying, that's where, I mean, why did I come to Thailand? Huh? Because the teachers in Europe, told me, I wanted to get rid of this as well, yeah. The teacher told me, in Europe, they told me, just don't get into it, yeah. Just avoid it, yeah. And I said, this is not the way, yeah. And then I came to see Lungta Mahabor, and he said, no, yeah. You cannot let go of these things, they're intrinsic, they are so deep down, yeah. I mean, it is one of the strongest forces. Raga, tanha, the sensual or desire is so strong, yeah. I mean, last time I think I mentioned, one of the monks, I mean, he was overcome by sexual desire, so he put up a razor blade, put it to his, to his artery, and put it actually in, so a little bit of blood came out. Only then, was he released of this, yeah. So I mean, it can be extremely strong, yeah. And sometimes, these things, work, yeah.
Also, I noticed that it comes in waves, it
Yeah,
leaves
of
me
course.
for a while, and then even I think, oh, okay, I'm doing progress and getting rid of it.
And then the next moment it comes. It's the same thing, yeah. I mean, it is also, promoted by our physical body, yeah. It's not only a mind thing. It comes also together with the body. The body has its cycles, and some cycles are okay, I mean, you don't even think about it. And then the body has some hormones coming up, and then the mind is induced in thinking about it, yeah. So, okay?
Right, thank you, Bhante.
Thanks, Carlos. Cynthia, go ahead.
Hi, Ajahn. It's always nice to listen to your teaching. I hope my question is not too long. I just want to know if you have any suggestion how to overcome very strong emotions against our own parents. Like my case is my own mother, because she's a very difficult person. She's not lovable, so do you have any suggestions on that?
She is lovable, but you don't see it. I mean, every person, yeah. I mean, he can be the worst person. There is something that is lovable about this person, or something that is amiable about this person, yeah. I mean, there is not one person. I mean, she raised you for 20 years, didn't she?
Not quite. But yeah, she did raise me at some point.
She fed you, she looked after you, she wiped your ass off, and I mean, and she gave you, yeah. These are things, these are generous things, yeah. So we can think about the good things that she did to us, yeah. If we only think about the bad things that she did to us, then of course, I mean, we can't overcome, yeah. And this strong hatred, yeah, I mean, it's also the same thing. There's some hatred within you, yeah. There are some parts of you that you hate, yeah, and you project it onto your mother, because what you see in your mother sometimes is how you are. She can be the mirror of yourself, yeah, and when she expresses it, yeah, you feel so much hate for her, yeah. Instead of looking at your own self, yeah, and removing that, and then the more you remove these things that you see in others. Sometimes I say, take the world as a mirror of yourself, yeah? Whatever you see and you disagree with you is within yourself, yeah? Find it within yourself, get rid of yourself, and the more you get rid of yourself, the clearer you see the other person. And then you see, oh, you're a completely different person, yeah? So, I mean, the problem is not with your mother, the problem is with yourself. Okay?
Thanks. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ajahn, there are 2 more questions.
Okay.
From
Yeah.
the chat.
Go ahead.
May I know what is the significance of building stupas? Many monasteries are building stupas or chedis and inviting lay people to donate.
They probably have nothing else to do. They don't like to practice the stupa within them. They don't want to build the stupa within them. No, yes, for some people, yeah. I mean, the Lord Buddha said, for arahants it's okay to build a stupa, and for the Lord Buddha, of course, it is okay to build a stupa, and for a righteous king, it is okay to build a stupa. The stupa is, I mean, that's where you place the rest of the bones, into the stupa, yeah. I mean, if it was really an arahant, I mean, there's a lot of energetic around that, yeah. But most of the stupas, then, that are built all over the places, I mean, it's a waste of money, it's a waste of time, and it's a waste of energy. That's my personal opinion, yeah. It's the same with the Buddha rupas, I mean, they built so many statues, everywhere, yeah. I mean, yes, it can be for some lay people, the more they get into touch, they will see it, yeah? But a stupa is something different, yeah. Lots of people don't even, when they come from the West, they don't even know what a stupa is, or chedi, yeah. They don't even know the meaning of it, yeah? Normally the meaning of it is, it's like, how do we call it, the cemetery stones, at the graveyard, yeah? That's it, in the West, You put somebody in a grave and you put a stone on it where it's written, this person, lived from this age, he was a good father or a good mother, yeah? And that is the same thing for a stupa. Okay, next question.
Next one. Since I started on the spiritual path a few years ago and started meditation, I am noticing that losing interest on the work I have to do. Would you have any advice on how to find motivation for the work other than earning money? Thank you for your wisdom. Sorry, so if I misunderstood your question, you can let me know. Yeah.
No, I didn't misunderstand the question. Yeah, I mean, I would say, if you lose interest in the work, I mean, and you have more interest in meditation, then choose the path of meditation. Yeah, then become a monk or a person who lives in a monastery. Yeah, and is supported by the monastery. Then you don't need money. Yeah? But if you still want to live in the world, I mean, then find some other kind of work, I mean, where you have interest, yeah, a work that has more spiritual background, yeah. That's all what I can say, yeah.
Thank you, Ajahn, so much for allowing me to ask a question. I'm trying to understand. I have never been to a meditation retreat or being surrounded by anybody Buddhist. So I followed this path like a decade ago by myself at home, meditating, watching myself nonstop for years, turning, bringing to the breath whatever I was raising, the family, all that. You become extremely startled at the point that I could see the mind, static energy, how
while he projects outside when sound is heard or that. Even while I was sleeping, I see the body sleeping. That was kind of a little bit, I didn't know who to ask or to go. I was killed quite a few times, and then I practiced meditation, and I was all the senses turn off. The breath become extremely fine, and I was kind of like immersed in a light that was stronger than the sun, but I couldn't tell only after I was out of it, which I was. The mind was kind of like in a state of not even thoughts, just I don't know was my first thought. And after a while, it was just a sense of spacious. It's always there, a sense of being present where is no time. It's just there. Everything happens. It just presents whatever the moving phenomenon, but it's always there, and it's very subtle and light and open and yes, but it's not conditioned by the. It's just there, Ajahn. It's just there. And I did when my husband, my husband passed away 2 years ago. I did stay beside him, and I see the four elements how we're dissolving, and that every form, how he sees it, he comes to rising and falling. So I don't know if you've ever been familiar or anything of that. You can help me with.
I mean, all these things, can happen in meditation. Yeah, I mean, they're very common. Yeah, all these things are very common. Yeah, they can happen. Yeah, but you have to go a path. Where you know what you're walking on. Yeah, I mean, you have to learn anapanasati to get the mind calm. Yeah? If the mind gets concentrated. Yeah, and then after that you have to do investigation. Yeah, that is the path of sila, samadhi, panya. I mean, first, of course, you keep the 5 silas, yeah, and the 5 precepts, and then you learn how to train the mind to get calm. Yeah? When you can stay on an object, without being distracted, to another thing, yeah, for 15 or 20 minutes, yeah, then you can start to do investigation, yeah, of the body investigation, like I teach, yeah. But whatever you said, whatever all your experience, are within the realm of meditation. Yeah, I mean the bright white light. It's a sign of concentration. I mean all these things can be explained. With what is happening in meditation. So I mean it's not unusual. Yeah, nothing.
So I can just, like I'm speaking, is like that presence, it's always there behind everything is happening, that sense of present.
Yeah. When you're speaking, yeah? But what you should try to do is, before you start speaking, get the intention. Yeah? Before you start to think, get the intention that wants to think, where the thought is not yet formed, or where the speech or the speech is not yet spoken.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I can see the rising of the thought from emptiness. The rising of the thought becomes and I am the movement, like is a slow motion, and then the words are coming, the intention of speaking, and the words are coming. So it's right deep behind all those.
Yeah. Yes. That is okay. Yeah. Well, what you have to do then, when you see that, stop that. Yeah. You don't have to think that thought. You don't have to say what you think you have to say. Yeah? Just stop it and get completely calm. Yeah? Even get to a state, where the whole universe disappears. Yeah? Where there's nothing left except knowingness.
Yeah.
You see, the breath becomes very fine, and when you stay on the breath, the knowing of the breath becomes very strong, So you know every detail of the breath, even though you can't feel the breath anymore, and you feel the whole breath body. But then what is going to happen is that the breath stops, and you know that the breath stops, and then you have to jump into this knowingness,
Yeah.
And then the whole universe disappears. Yeah? I mean, this is the first
one. When I experienced that light, that everything, including me, disappeared. There's nothing left. Yeah.
The light is not the light. Yeah, it's not the light. The light, if you see it, it's just a sign of concentration. It can be very disturbing. It can be extremely bright. You have to bring the light that is outside of you. You have to bring it into your heart.
Got it. I understand exactly.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn, so much.
Where are you from?
I'm from Romania.
Romania. I thought it was Russia. I heard something. I thought it was Russia. Yeah. I hope you're safe in Romania. I mean,
No,
you're very.
I live in States for 29 years now.
Oh, you live now in the States. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, any more questions? Tani, you still there?
Yes. Yeah. Anyone else with questions? I think no more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's it from online.
Okay, so if there are no more questions, already over an hour, I mean, then we just finish, and see, practice at home, get calm, leave the world outside, and don't be worried about the world, what the world is doing, what the world is thinking, Don't be interested in what is going on in the world, I mean, just look at yourself, look at inside, and do, and practice a lot, and get calm. In this disturbing time, it is extremely important. I mean, you see what is going on in the world. Ukraine. Be it Ukraine or be it Taiwan or be it Myanmar or everywhere there is some fire going on. And sooner or later, these fires all over the world will combine into one big fire. So the best thing for us is to stay calm. And if we are with the heart knows what to do at every moment. It knows what to do. I mean, people only get into panic if they start to think what to do. We see. We see with the eyes. We hear with our ears. We don't have to think about what we see. We don't have to think about what we hear, because that becomes defiled. Because the kilesas are taking up what we see and making something out of it. And whatever we hear or whatever we taste, the kilesas are making out of it. But if we stay with our heart, we know exactly what to do. And that is the way for us to survive really turbulent times. Okay, so I wish you well, everyone, and I probably see some of you, in December.
Thank you, Ajahn.
And we should make it, Sani, we should make it before Christmas,
Yeah. The next session, right?
Yeah, something like around the middle of December,
Okay. Yeah. Let's all pay respects to Then Ajahn together. But thank you, Ajahn. Good night.
You're welcome. So, any one of you has a question? No? Then we go and practice, yeah? Huh?